Hello and welcome, my dear friend. Some people inherit houses, some inherit names, but you inherited battles, invisible ones, old ones, ones that didn't start with you, but will end with you. And maybe you've felt it without knowing exactly what to call it. The heaviness that clings, even when life seems fine. The resistance that shows up the moment you try to elevate. The strange guilt that comes when you try to rest, even though you're exhausted. That's not random. That's the weight of what came before you. That's the echo of generations, silent but stubborn, asking someone to finally break what they couldn't. You were not chosen because you were the strongest. You were chosen because you were the most surrendered. And when heaven looked down the line, it didn't just pick you to succeed. It picked you to shift something that's been stuck for far too long. You are the one who said yes without knowing what it would cost. And now you're finding out, aren't you? That spiritual elevation isn't glamorous. It's gritty. That being the one to heal what's been hurting your family for generations means you have to feel the very thing they avoided. You've had to face things in silence that others ran from in noise. You've had to sit with emotions that were passed down like bad recipes, coping mechanisms dressed as tradition. But here's what most people won't tell you. You're not crazy. You're not weak. You're not cursed. You're breaking something, and breaking hurts. You're not just healing your own wounds. You're carrying out spiritual surgery on a bloodline that has never known safety, softness, or truth. You've cried tears your great-grandmother never had time to cry. You've said no more in places where your grandfather stayed silent. You've walked away from patterns that others wrapped up and called normal. That's not rebellion, that's redemption. And the very act of you doing it differently, loving differently, resting differently, believing differently, is already shifting the soil under your entire lineage. You are the answered prayer your ancestors whispered but didn't know how to articulate. And here's the wild thing. Even the ones who misunderstood you, who mocked you, who said, "You've changed," they're still being lifted because of your obedience. You're building bridges with your behavior that they'll be able to walk across later. But I get it. It doesn't always feel noble. Some days it feels like loneliness, like carrying bricks that aren't yours, like trying to run while dragging a rusted chain of someone else's regrets. And on those days, it's easy to wonder, why me? Why am I the one that sees the cycles? Why am I the one feeling all of this? Why does it seem like the moment I try to elevate, something tries to pull me under? Here's the truth. You feel it all because you're built for it all. You see it because you're strong enough to interrupt it. You carry it because heaven knew you wouldn't collapse under it. And the moment you accept every detail of your life, pains and glories, all together, you begin to flow in it in a way you wouldn't believe. See, God doesn't just pick anyone to carry this kind of assignment. He picks someone who won't decorate the pain and pass it down. He picks someone who won't spiritualize dysfunction and call it loyalty. He picks someone who will feel it, face it, and still move forward. And that someone is you. You've already done more than you know. Even if it didn't look like a miracle, you broke the chain by simply not continuing it. You changed the story by refusing to repeat the chapter. You shifted the atmosphere by choosing to stay soft in a place that taught you to go numb. That's the kind of healing that doesn't get applause, but changes everything. And now, after all that internal breaking, comes the external building. Not just for you, but for the ones connected to you. You are the root system heaven has been cultivating in secret, and now the branches are about to stretch wide. The ones who come after you will eat fruit from trees they didn't plant because of you. The ones before you will be remembered differently because of you. And the ones watching you now, some with confusion, some with quiet awe, they'll eventually understand. You weren't trying to be better. You were trying to be free. And freedom doesn't run in every family, but it's about to, because you're the one who stopped running. You're the one who turned around and said, This ends with me, and heaven heard you. It's one thing to say you're breaking cycles. It's another to wake up every day and live like it. No roadmap, no confirmation, no sign that what you're doing is working. Just this deep, wordless knowing that you can't go back, because something sacred started happening the moment you stopped performing survival. You began living legacy, not the kind written on plaques or etched in stone, the kind etched in the small decisions you make daily, how you speak to yourself when no one's listening, how you let others rest without guilt, how you let yourself believe something good could come from you. This is the kind of legacy that can't be measured by resumes or bank accounts. It's measured by freedom. It's measured by softness returning to places that once only knew tension. It's measured by a little one growing up without needing to unlearn the same fears you had to fight through. And maybe that's one of the most real blessings that's unfolding now. See, we often expect the blessing to come in loud, impressive ways. New doors, better positions, applause. But the real blessing? It's already been cooked. God didn't forget you. He's just been simmering something deeper than you asked for. And for those moments when you've been wondering, if all of this is so sacred, why haven't I seen more change yet? If I've been obedient, where's the breakthrough? Let me offer you this. God already poured the cup. Now it's your move. Drink or keep doubting it's full. This is a season of spiritual maturity. No more begging. No more performing. No more hoping someone validates what heaven already confirmed. This time, it's about agreement. You agreeing with the truth that's already been spoken over your life. You stepping into the river that's already flowing. Because blessings don't chase you when you're still clinging to unworthiness. They rest where there is trust. This doesn't mean effort disappears. It means your effort is now aligned. You're not swinging wildly, trying to prove yourself to anyone. You're placing seeds with calm hands in soil you know is fertile, because you're not working alone anymore. Heaven is backing you. You're not doing this for your bloodline by yourself. You're doing this with the one who chose you for it. The one who saw what tried to break you and said, they'll still rise. The one who knew the nights you almost gave up, but didn't. The one who trusted you with this work because of your heart, not in spite of it. And that's the difference between pressure and calling. Pressure says, do this or else everything falls apart. Calling says, you've already changed things by being who you are. That kind of truth doesn't just lift you, it lifts the air around you, the atmosphere you walk into, the way people feel when they hear your voice, see your eyes, feel your presence. You carry redemption in your frequency now. It's because you didn't numb out, you didn't push it down, you sat in the middle of it and stayed honest. And that's the frequency heaven responds to. That's the sound the generations after you will be tuned to. Not your words, but your wake. They won't remember every detail, but they'll remember that when things could have stayed the same, you didn't. They'll feel the difference even if they don't know how to name it. And one day, maybe sooner than you think, someone will stand in their own moment of fear, at their own crossroads, and they'll remember you. It wasn't how loud you believed. It was how steady you stayed when belief got quiet. You didn't need a spotlight. You just needed to keep choosing the right thing when it was hardest. And you did. And those decisions rippled forward in time and carved out space for others to walk lighter. This is what it means to lift a bloodline. Not through might, not through noise, but through the kind of quiet, consistent transformation that God uses as foundation. You're not just rising for yourself, you're rising as a door. And behind you, generations are lining up, not to thank you, but to live freer because of you. That's the reward. That's the blessing. And it's already here. Now all that's left is for you to walk in it. Thank you so much for taking this journey with me. If this message resonated, please like, share it with someone who might benefit, and subscribe to stay connected. Continue your awakening journey by choosing one of the videos on your screen that resonates with you the most. See you there.